It doesn't matter if you're a Muggle or a wizard. Harry Potter fans everywhere love Hermione Granger. Harry's intelligent bestie is a super important part of the books and movies. Today we'll take a look at who Hermione is and how she changed throughout the series. Hermione Jean Granger is often referred to as the brightest witch of her age. Hermione is a Muggle-born witch. That means that both of her parents are Muggles, or non-magical people. Her parents are dentists, which is a totally weird concept to other wizards. Hermione is one of Harry Potter's best friends, and she's the oldest of the Golden Trio. According to J.K. Rowling, her birthday is September 19, 1979. This makes her almost a full year older than Harry, but oddly enough, they're in the same year. Rowling put a lot of thought into Hermione's name. Her name is the female version of the Greek god Hermes. Hermes was known for being really smart and also for fitting into two different worlds. That describes Hermione perfectly.
At least no one on the Gryffindor team had to buy their way in. They got in on pure talent.
Hermione's Patronus is an otter, which are smart animals that can live in both water and on land. That's just like Hermione's ability to be successful in both the Muggle and Wizarding world. She adopts a pet cat named Crookshanks in The Prisoner of Azkaban. Hermione's wand is made with dragon heartstrings, which is a sign of a very powerful witch. Now that we've covered all the basics about Hermione, let's dig deeper into who she was in the books. Harry Potter met Hermione very early in the books. In fact, she is one of the first kids in his year that he meets. Hermione is introduced in Chapter 6 of The Philosopher's Stone. Harry sits with Ron Weasley in a train compartment. Neville Longbottom comes by looking for his lost toad, Trevor. Then a young girl with bushy hair comes by. She's helping Neville look for his toad. She sees that Ron is attempting to cast a spell and sits down to watch. His spell fails and she tells him it wasn't very good. She reveals that she has tried a few spells for practice and they have all worked. She also says that she has memorized all their school books, and she goes on to tell Harry that he is mentioned in 3 of the books she reads. Hermione is originally described as bossy. She immediately comes across as a know-it-all, but she desperately wants to know all about the world that she is in. And she's really smart. Not everyone can memorize their school books, especially at the age of 11. She loves to read, and she's always at the library. She loves learning just for learning's sake. You might think Hermione belongs in Ravenclaw. That's the house for people who value intelligence and creativity. But Hermione is a lot more than just smart. She's very kind, and we can see that from the beginning. She helps Neville, a boy who she just met, look for his toad. Hermione always wants to help, and she's very loyal to her friends. She says she cares about following school rules, but she'll do just about anything to help out her buddies and save the world. She set Snape on fire in the first book to save Harry from the cursed bludger. She confronted someone who was trying out for Quidditch to help Ron get on the team. It's Hermione's loyalty and bravery that put her in Gryffindor. And Hermione is super brave. She faces off with a 3-headed dog in the first book, and she puts herself in more and more dangerous situations as the books go on. There's no limit to how far the bookworm will go to save the people she cares about. Hermione isn't perfect, though. She sees the world as very black and white. That's why she butts heads with Professor Trelawney, and isn't always nice to Luna Lovegood. She has trouble believing in things she can't see. She can also be a teacher's pet and a little self-righteous. But at the end of the day, she's a great friend and a total hero. In the books, J.K. Rowling doesn't talk a lot about Hermione's style. Here's what we do know about her appearance, though. She's described as having bushy dark hair. She has 2 front teeth that are very large. In the 4th book, a hex from Draco Malfoy makes her teeth grow extra big. She goes to the hospital wing to have Madame Pomfrey fix her teeth. She has her shrink them back to normal size, so she no longer has buck teeth. Hermione was obviously teased about her teeth a lot, so she had them magically shrunk. Hermione wears her school uniform and school robes. The only times Rowling really describes what Hermione is wearing is when she dresses up. For the Yule Ball in Goblet of Fire, she wears periwinkle blue dress robes. She had used a hair potion to make her hair shiny and less bushy. She fixed it into a tight and elegant bun. Everyone thought she looked gorgeous. She dressed up again for Bill and Fleur's wedding in the Deathly Hallows. She wore a lilac-colored dress and matching heels. Once again, the witch tamed her frizzy curls to look more put together for this special occasion. Hermione definitely likes those pastel colors. The movie producers and costume designers made a lot of changes to Hermione's looks. Keep watching to find out what they changed.
I've never seen a more complicated potion.
There are some major differences between the Harry Potter books and movies. Some of the changes make sense though, since it's impossible to fit an entire book into a single film. But some of the changes are totally random, and Hermione is definitely one of those characters who encountered many alterations. One of the main differences is her appearance. In the first couple of movies, they gave actress Emma Watson bushy hair, but by the third movie, her brown hair was pretty tamed. Of course, Emma is gorgeous, and Hermione is not supposed to be traditionally attractive, but they didn't know that when they cast her as a child. They changed her style too. At the Yule Ball in the movie, Hermione wears a pink dress, and she wears a red dress at Bill's wedding. She's also pretty trendy. She wears a lot of jeans and sweaters, however her clothes were definitely in style for the 90s, which is when the books take place. The movies also changed a lot in regards to Hermione's personality. Sure, she's still what Snape would call an insufferable know-it-all, but she's just a little too perfect in the movies. She basically doesn't have any flaws, and this upset a lot of fans.
If you want to kill Harry, you'll have to kill us too.
A lot of Ron's best, important lines were given to Hermione. She's also a bit of a mother hen to Harry, and she's always nice to Luna. They also took away her whole storyline of helping house elves. Another major change is the reason that she and Ron kiss in the last book and movie. In the book, Ron is worried about the house elves. Hermione is so happy to see that he cares that she launches herself at him to kiss him. In the books, they're so relieved after killing Horcrux that they just sort of mutually kiss. Hermione is a passionate person. She believes the way that house elves are treated is totally unjust. In the book, she starts the Society for the Protection of Elfish Welfare, or SPEW. She spends a lot of her free time knitting clothes for the elves to free them without their consent. Her heart is in the right place, but she doesn't listen to what the elves want. Hermione is just as passionate about her relationships. She's like a sister to Harry. She stays with him through the worst of times when they're hunting Horcruxes. Hermione can sometimes get on Harry's nerves, but they never really have serious fights. Hermione is also close to Ginny Weasley. She's able to talk to Ginny about her love life because Harry and Ron just don't understand. In the series, Hermione has 2 love stories. She dates Victor Krum in Goblet of Fire. He is her first kiss, and she tells Harry that she and Victor don't really do much talking. Her other love story is with Ron. They fight a lot throughout the series, but Ron challenges her. He's smart in a different way and forces her to think outside the box. He comforts her a lot in Deathly Hallows. She gets insanely jealous when he dates Lavender in Half-Blood Prince. We were so glad when they finally ended up together. According to canon, the two get married and have 2 children. We get to see them in the epilogue of the last movie, Happily Married. If you haven't seen or read Harry Potter and the Cursed Child, you might not know about their family. They have a daughter named Rose and a son named Hugo. Ron and Hermione are just so cute together. Hermione is only 18 years old at the age of Battle of Hogwarts, but she has dealt with a lot in her life. In the first book, she runs off to the bathroom to cry after Ron makes fun of her behind her back, and she gets attacked by a troll. She faces all the challenges that are guarding the Sorcerer's Stone. In the Chamber of Secrets, Hermione gets petrified by the Basilisk. She has the page about it curled into her hand. She was trying to tell someone what the monster was. Hermione wants to take as many classes as she can because she loves learning. In her 3rd year, she's allowed to have a time turner. She manages to keep up with twice the amount of schoolwork and still ends up scoring the best grades. She is the one who encourages Harry to start Dumbledore's Army in Order of the Phoenix. She isn't afraid to break Umbridge's rules in order to make sure they can defend themselves in the war. Hermione also tracks down Horcruxes with Harry in the final installment of the series. That includes impersonating Bellatrix Lestrange and breaking into Gringotts. Did we mention that she's brave? Yes? Oh, okay, good. Just making sure. Hermione has achieved a lot in her life too. She received outstanding on almost all of her OWL tests in her 5th year. She got an exceeds expectation in defense against the dark arts. She regularly makes the highest grades. She wanted to get her newts, so Hermione returned to Hogwarts after the war to make up the time she missed. She isn't called the brightest witch of her age for nothing. How much did Hermione evolve throughout the series? Well, stay tuned to find out.
You're amazing, you are.
Always a total surprise.
At first glance, you might think that Hermione doesn't change much throughout the story. She's always the smartest person around, and she's always brave and loyal like the average Gryffindor. But Hermione really does grow as a person. In the first book, Hermione doesn't really stand up for herself, but thanks to her friendship with Ron and Harry, she gains more confidence. She even punches Draco in the face when he takes things too far. Hermione's biggest fear is failure. At first, it's a fear of failing at school, but later she realizes what's really important. She gets scared of losing her loved ones and losing the war. She becomes a leader. We don't just mean that she became a prefect. We mean that she is a leader in the war effort. She becomes a best friend to Harry. Instead of being condescending, she becomes his closest confidant. He goes to her for more than just book-smart questions. He confides his fears to her, and she never fails to lend him a shoulder to lean on.
How are you feeling? Okay?
Hermione's passions change throughout the franchise. She continues to take care of those who can't take care of themselves, but she abandons Spew. She realizes that the house elves don't want to be freed with no place to go. In this, she learns that she isn't right all the time. She remains passionate about learning, but she also becomes a fantastic soldier who puts her studies on the back burner. She's able to go undercover at the Ministry. She duels Death Eaters and comes up kicking. After she receives Dumbledore's copy of the Tales of the Beetleborg, she dives into learning about the Deathly Hallows. This helps Harry defeat Voldemort. Hermione is strong. One of her greatest strengths is her ability to make sacrifices. She removes herself from her parents' memories to keep them safe. Not many people could do that. She stays strong for Harry in the forest, even though she's hurt when Ron abandons them. She puts the mission and the war first. Hermione grows a lot when she begins to realize that she has feelings for Ron. She used to look down at him and treat him like a dum-dum, but she realizes that he's smart in his own way. She's able to forgive him for leaving during the hunt for Horcruxes. She's also able to overcome her jealousy of Lavender Brown. Both characters mature a lot throughout the books. They would not have lasted if they had gotten together sooner, but the war teaches Hermione what really matters. She's able to overlook the things about Ron that bother her because she loves him. One thing about Hermione that doesn't change is her allegiance to different causes and people. Hermione always sides with Harry in major conflicts, even if they disagree about smaller things. She's always willing to sacrifice herself to help Harry. Hermione is always one of the good guys. She stands up to Snape and in her own way stands up to Umbridge. She always fights for what is right. She never struggles with her morals because she knows who she is. She could have stayed out of the war for her own safety, but she didn't. She goes against the Ministry once she's convinced that it's corrupted, and she keeps fighting for the rights of others once the war is over. Hermione Granger goes on to become the Minister of Magic, but we're not too surprised about her future accomplishment.
It's a bit annoying, actually. You are trying to figure this egg out, aren't you?
Hermione plays a really important role in the final battle of Hogwarts. Harry trusts her and Ron to destroy the cup of Helga Hufflepuff while he looks for the last Horcrux. She is able to destroy that Horcrux because she has given so much up to find it. Hermione is also a very powerful witch. She helps battle the Death Eaters and isn't afraid to be right in the middle of the action. She is one of the 3 young witches to take on Bellatrix Lestrange. Bellatrix was an extremely powerful evil witch. Hermione duels her along with Ginny and Luna until Mrs. Weasley finishes her off. Hermione is there to comfort Ron after his brother Fred dies, and she's there to support Harry after the battle. Hermione was important to the Battle of Hogwarts. Voldemort and the Death Eaters hated Muggleborns. They thought they were less worthy than purebloods. But the Bright Witch soon proves that who your parents are or where you're from doesn't change a thing. She is one of the bravest and most loyal characters in the books, and she's definitely the smartest. Hermione taught kids everywhere that it's okay to be smart. She taught us all about friendship and loyalty. Hermione is an important role model for lots of girls around the world. We hope you enjoyed this character evolution. Be sure to tell us why you think Hermione is the greatest in the comments section, and let us know which Harry Potter character you want us to cover next. Give this video a big thumbs up if you wish the Harry Potter franchise had never ended. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more magical content. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.